Start the story once again.
All right, so I said I was going to, talk about the tragedy that happened at the accident wherein was involved Attorney Joshua, his friends Sina Gami and Latif Lats Ayodele, who coincidentally and sadly both lost their lives. Of course, we have Anthony Joshua still recuperating, and after the accident happened, there's been a whole lot of reactions. Of which the first one I want to go through with Adebayo right now is that of the medical implication of that accident, because I watched some foreign reactions from the foreign bodies where we have them talking about them evacuating Attorney Joshua without the presence of either an ambulance or paramilitary, and what does that, or how does that project Nigeria to the world when you are talking about medical scene and interference?
Well, where I would have loved to start, you didn't start from there, but I will start from where you start
All
from,
right.
and go back to the basic. As if accident don't happen in the Western world that claims life. There was a player playing for Liverpool. By this time last year, he was still playing for Liverpool. He had an accident traveling from Portugal to Spain. He had an accident and died. Help did not arrive from anywhere. They only came to evacuate the wreckage of the car and his brother, with his body and that of his brother. It happens that way. It is agreed. We don't have adequate emergency response system. But then, what can such do in a situation whereby some of the victims died on the spot? What can they do?
Well, sorry, as regards those dying on the spot, Adebayo, please, I have something about that, because this thing happens a lot in Nigeria. People who are not actually medically certified to declare somebody dead will just come, maybe see the condition of the person and just say they are just dead. Exactly. Without medical help.
You will not crucify those people, because a lot of people acted out of instinct and the humanity in us. We don't have all these things in place, but we have our humanity, our common sense of community. We have it in us. And that has been, it's unfortunate that those people don't have the skill. But how can we go about it? Bashing the federal government or the state governments involved or the individuals involved will not bring any solution to the problem. We just need to applaud those people who came and did the little they could do within their limited knowledge. Some people will not live there. Even some of the people commenting on social media, if it were to be in their neighborhood, if they came out, their own would be to go there and record something for content.
Oh, yes.
It is unfortunate that we don't have such a system in place. But even where they have it in place, such a thing still happen. Look at there was a Nigerian player, Adefemi Olubayo, a Nigerian football player playing in Greece. He was preparing for his wedding in Nigeria. He was on his way from his base in Kavala, Greece, to the Athens airport, where he would join the flight to Lagos. He was alone in the vehicle. He traveled alone, and his vehicle lost control, and that's the end of it. That was the end of it. Nobody knew how long it took. They were passing by and said they saw a sign of that the vehicle skidded off the road, and they traced it and saw the wreckage. They brought his body out for his agent to identify that, this is actually Adefemi Olubayo. So no Nigerian complained of lack of emergency response there. I'm not saying we shouldn't have it, but if we do not have it, you cannot, attempt to fly when you cannot even walk yet. And that, having said that, we need to also first and foremost be defensive in whatever we are doing. How do I mean? Defensive driving, safety first. Number one, nobody is talking of our aversion to obeying traffic law. You see indiscriminate parking of vehicles along the road. Those roads, those shoulders, they call the service lane, are meant for issues like this, for people to be able to maneuver their way. It's not for parking and abandoning vehicles that have broken down. Even within the Ilorin metropolis, from here to Gambari, go and see some people, they bought vehicles. People living in a single room apartment, they have no space to park vehicle, they bought it, they park it perpetually on the road. It is only in Ilorin here. I'm sorry, it's a bit of digression. It's only in Ilorin here that there is no regard for what we call double parking. Even you can see triple parking in Ilorin. If anything happens now in such a case, you'll be blaming the government, right? And government is not the one parking there. And if you try to enforce the law, they will start name dropping. The same thing along from Mogere down to Mowe, down to Lagos. You will see indiscriminate parking of those trailers. Lagos State government went through hell before they could evacuate those trailers from Lagos Apapa Express Road when it was causing perpetual gridlock. Simple rule we cannot follow. And having said that, anybody driving to, they said it is better to be late than to be delayed.
That's another one.
How fast, how quick the journey took you is not as important as how safe. Some people are waiting to embrace you. Some people are waiting to handshake you upon your arrival. They are not prepared to identify you with the sole of your shoe or the wristwatch you wore before leaving home. So that is what most motorists should always bear in mind. Because the preliminary report, according to the Federal Road Safety Corps, says that it was overspeeding.
Yes.
And having oversped, in order to avoid hitting the vehicle ahead, he maneuvered and then went to ram into a stationary truck. So there are faults left, right, and center that you cannot, in this particular case. It's unfortunate those who lost their life, and I also pray that those who survive should have a speedy recovery. But I don't think the government is to be blamed here. The only aspect you can blame the government is our failure or its government's failure to enforce those rules. Failure to enforce those rules, indiscriminate parking. That place is called a highway,
which is
the busiest highway in Africa, not in Nigeria alone.
Because I mean,
and some people will be there. You need that is a road that is as wide as Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Sometimes you will see more than 15 meters for vehicle to pass through. Whereas about over 20 meters have been commandeered as parking space for those trailers coming from the north or going to the north. That is not too good. The federal government needs to look into that. Any vehicle found parking indiscriminately, if it is broken down, you put the caution sign here, and
that's another thing. You hardly see caution signs.
And you look for a way of towing it within a few hours of the breaking down of the vehicle. But here you will see some months they do so a kind of net under those trucks where they sleep, so that when it rains, it doesn't even touch them. They convert that place to a permanent home, and that is not too good.
Well, Adebayo, you have touched on causes and on solution now, because when I saw the story and I realized that it's been first time we've been numerous cases of loss of life along that area, and it's an highway. You've been wondering why it's supposed to be wide.
And also, let me tell you, it is a daily occurrence on that route.
Not just,
the problem now is that Anthony Joshua is an international celebrity. That is why it is appearing as if this is the first time an accident will happen on that road.
Well, you just said it's something that happens daily. You understand?
It's a daily occurrence.
And in as much as we do not want to blame the government, there's still something that the government can still do. Yeah, this is a popular hold on. This is a popular knowledge. At this point, this Lagos Ibadan Expressway, we should be able to have some stationary ambulance in there. Yes.
These are reactive measures.
Yes.
Why not proactive and preventive? That's what I'm saying. We have so many challenges to tackle that to be, expecting some reckless drivers that you can save yourself a whole lot and the government a whole lot by driving safely.
Oh yes, the first paramount.
Some people will come and let me even give you another, even within the London metropolis. Go and look at all the popular junctions. You see where you are supposed to have a vintage view of a vehicle coming from another corner. You see fruit sellers and they block the place. Fruit and bread sellers. There is another one here. If you are coming from Sango to Akademi, that junction here, Marua, those loading Shao, Bodesadu, those Okada loading, they've blocked everywhere. You have to be at the center of that junction before you can see vehicle coming from the other side. And these things are things that undermine safety on the road. Not to talk of indiscriminate parking, particularly in the interior of the town.
All right.
And whether we like it or not, Gambari to Sao it should be a federal road. Okay. And should be treated as such.
All right, let's go for this commercial. But come back, we'll talk about other headlines. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
So things don't easy for Nigeria now. It means
I didn't want to be quoting a personal experience, Sister Bayan. But were involved in accidents in Karen Ugati Mani OFM. It was a sad one.
straight. If you are
No. I wasn't even driving. With a young boy. Bí DMU àṣewàyẹ, a lọ gba political kini ni. So bí ọ̀bọ yẹn ṣe òun gangan ló ń drive náà ló wa mọ́tò. So ìgbà tí à ń bọ̀ Mr. Bayo, èmi lo belt, unfortunately kò lo belt. So ìgbà tí mọ́tò, I don't know what happened actually. No, because I'm a pasha in tumble. You understand? So in the process, I think because he didn't use belt, she get so what you see what motor to land. So if it's one learning pay as at the time time your tasha sare pe àwọn agbe akogbe lọ hospital you understand? But my sister is a medical doctor, you know. She now told me that what I explained the whole situation because it been bleeding and what internal bleeding later. She was like any of your kukura. But why be at medical interference number one kò yẹ ká gbé kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ pé bá ṣe lift kúrò níbẹ̀ yẹn. So wà á rí pé.
Maybe if we just come back now, we touch on that.
So
it is cheaper to prevent this thing than to be looking for a solution.
Exactly, that's it.
Never in a hurry.
Then I went one time to Unilorin Hospital here, about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But I saw a stationed mobile ambulance. So you go and somebody supplied it already. That is what he provide for. Why do not use it?
You call that place Bajaj World. Bajaj World, not good. That's accident trauma in you. Emergency center.
Madam, F me call sorrow.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Okay, no, enough.
I just want to say again that I love you and
Let me thank you.
No,
Hi, Diola. How are you? I'm fine. How's family? Hope everyone is good.
The culture of not, there is no how. If you are driving and you are concerned about the safety of the other road users, you yourself will be safe.
Definitely.
In the process of protecting others,
you are protecting yourself.
Let every motorist have that in mind. It is not defensive driving.
Additional 25 minutes stop time.
I know what you mean. Me, Mario, but like I don't know the
if I'm following you, there is a distance I maintain. Because number one, the vehicle you are following has an automatic braking system, ABS.
Me, I like to motor matele me. I because of matele motor. I like it. Bumper to bumper.
Some people don't know. Go inside that Marua from Gambari. All the people you see there, they are in their early 20s. Who give them that thing?
Then when it comes to sensitization, agencies like road safety, and how many sensitization programs do they have? Anthony Joshua, it was a massive accident. Did you see the car? Surely I mean, my sister told me what perfume. That day, trailer look bad. Could they show any symptom at all? Like, what about normal. I showed you internal video. I'm a friend. We're gonna lose hospital. Well, like, what they come and lele, what they pushing. That's him. Our father.
Faculty of Science and Computing, Architecture and Environmental Sciences. To make it your first choice of institution with seamless access for the best UTME and admission process. Above all, the university is offering an open discount on tuition fee on all courses located at Okeogbagama Quarry.
Mr. Bayo, accident go down.
Within the first 10 minutes.
I didn't move the jáde Miriam àdìgbà yẹn lọ́dọ̀ náà ti bà mí. I didn't say but other people mo lọ wo accident yẹn mo wò pé like how did I come out of this? The only thing ni pé ṣe dot tí mo lò àǹtí mi bá pupa ẹ̀ nímọ̀ across my body by ó dàbí pé ó pọ́n gan ó pọ́n then days after one dúdú tán pàtó dẹ̀ yọ̀ dẹ̀ lọ and somebody just lost his life like that.
December 28th, Charles Toby Michael, 6 p.m. December 31st, Countdown to 2026. Final round of
You see?
Countdown into the new year.
Everybody
tó bá dẹ̀ pẹ́ lára yín, it's a foreign body, it can cause anything. Ọtún ti ti wọnú. Such a pity, honestly.
Ìgbà àwẹ̀ ni mò ń gbé kiri níbi ilé wa nígbà tí mò ń gbé ọmọlábí fáànù ṣe fi bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ yẹn. Ẹ̀rọ ìgbà tí ó lè tẹ̀ ọ̀gbẹ̀ rárá nígbà. Dápọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ dàpọ̀ lóhùn lé débi tó lè bá mi dín.
Ẹ lọ́ka.
Wọ́n ti wá wà. Mo ti rẹ́ nǹkan mi yẹn wá gbé lọ fẹ́ tó rọ mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀dínlọ́kì sí. Wọ́n bá mi kí ìwé.
Mo lè má ṣe fúnra mi, but mo dájú when it comes to fún èèyàn, I can do for someone, but I can't do for myself.
In 3, 4, 5, 6 days time, you bá ṣe.
Ó máa fi ń
What do you before? Pé mo máa fẹ́ sà. Ìdẹ́gbẹ̀ máa ń ròyìn máa kọ́ dídú.
But ẹ máa rántí máa lo sterilize or new utensils.
Bí mo ṣe wà mo ní skin level nílé, mo ní spirit nílé, gbogbo first aid nílé wà nílé rẹ̀.
Kódà nu mọ́tò mi tó bá wọ ní mọ́tò yìí ti wà ní first aid níbẹ̀.
Last weekend, ìyá àdúrà mi tún kẹ̀kẹ́ ṣe wá sí ní wàá bá mi tún kẹ̀kẹ́ ṣe ó ti fẹ́ yọ chain kí ni ẹ̀ ṣe bẹ́ lọ́wọ́ nìyẹn.
Today's review of
Spirit mix with Dettol or spray of it. Hello. Hello. Good morning, please. Good morning. Okay. Ẹjọ́ sábà wà lórí akẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Mo ti mọ̀ yìí. Ẹjọ́ máa pè mí jáde. Mo pè.
Casey Morgan.
Afẹ́ padà lórí atẹ́gùn láì sá. Ìyá ìjọ ọ̀tà ni. Kí ni wọ́n ti bí báyìí? Ọ̀nà bá àzọ ló fẹ́ kọ́ lónìí.
Thank you for staying tuned to Sobi 101.9 and returning to today's review of newspaper headlines and editorials. Okay, fortunately, we are returning to that topic. I thought we were going to move on, but we have there's still a lot of things to discuss on the issue of road users and what the government needs to do. So, Adebayo Waka, let's wrap up on that.
Yes, all we need to do, as I was trying to say before we went on that break, is that the law already exists, just enforcement and our own adherence. And again, there is this thing about road usage.
Okay.
If you are conscious and are concerned about the safety of other road users, by default, you yourself will be safe. But somebody who does not mind the safety of other road users is equally endangering himself. If you run into an oncoming vehicle, you don't know who will survive between you and the other side. It may even be you. So that's why safety first. If you mind the safety of those other road users, by default, you yourself will be safe. But then let us look at how serious about regulators are. Talking about the Federal Road Safety Corps, about the safety also
of Nigerians, our road users.
There is a menace on Nigerian road now called tricycle, Marwa. Go to Gambari and check those behind those wheels. There are people majority of them are people in their early 20s. No driving experience, no testing, nothing. I have brought a Federal Road Safety Corps official here about 5 years ago to ask what are they doing about the menace that Marwa had considered on our road. What he told me was that the law establishing road safety only captures vehicles with two wheels and 4 wheels and above. Then what does it take you to make a proposal, make it an executive bill to the National Assembly for it to be amended and be included so that these people can be captured and regulated? Nobody issues driver license to them. All you need to do is just get the vehicle and then hand it over to them. You will see them, you'll be following them. They will make a U-turn without even looking back.
They stop for passengers.
And
if you have ever seen where they fall and injure their passengers, you will vow never to board that piece of transportation again. But nobody's doing anything about it. And if anything happens now, we'll be talking about ambulance emergency. Why are we not concerned about preventive rather than curative?
Well, that's true anyway. But then when these occurrences happen, we usually have our first responders as the people of the community.
Of course.
Now, to that community and within, since you are talking about the agency in charge of the road safety, now what kind of sensitization have they been able to put forth? Yes, we know if you invite them, they would come, but then from their own themselves, because it's something as simple as CPR. You understand? What kind of sensitization are they giving to Nigerians for us to know that even as first responders as a community, these are things that we can actually do?
CPR knowledge is not giving CPR knowledge is not the duty of the road safety. Okay. There are other agencies, maybe Federal Ministry of Health and all those health and safety agencies are the ones to do that. And these ones are after the damage has been done. We are talking of preventive. We should be proactive rather than reactive. Curative is always very expensive, more expensive. At least the person involved in the accident will go through pain. Some people will be in a hurry, rushing on the road, endangering his own life and those of other road users. And when they ram into something, instead of them to wait for 1-2 seconds and allow traffic to flow freely, they will be in a hurry, jam person, and where they are hurrying to, in the next 2 hours, they are still there dragging. So what is the essence of that rush? So these are cultures we need to, educate ourselves and caution ourselves over. Like I said, indiscriminate parking also. I used to hear that double parking is not allowed. But in Ilorin, it is the rule.
Well, I don't want us to just limit it to Ilorin.
No, I'm giving an example, the one that is closer to us. Because if it happens now, some people will come out and say we don't have emergency services. Agree, we don't. Even Lagos where they have it.
No, we actually
where they have it in Lagos.
The usage that actually matters.
Where they have emergency this in Lagos, they still obey those basic rules of traffic. You can't see double parking there. Nobody rides against traffic there without consequence.
I think that consequence is what we need to.
That is the rule of law aspect side of it. So we need to focus on those little details that tends to preserve our safety, rather than focusing on putting in place. If there is no crash, will there be the need for emergency rescue?
Okay.
So that is the education I think we should carry out. We should not just carry out this education alone with strict, rigid enforcement of this law, no matter who is involved.
All right, thank you very much, Adebayo Abubakar. Ayobola, can we move away from that now?
Oh, yes, you can.
Thank you. Let's talk about politics. PDP crisis, Wike attacks Makinde and Fubara. It's been a back and forth. And yesterday, what we talked about yesterday was about Fayose, attacking Makinde, talking about the fact that Makinde, when he was talking about President Tinubu and the fact that he wasn't going to support him, that Makinde didn't see anything about it. I think 50 billion naira emergency loan or emergency fund from the president when we had the 2024 explosion in Ibadan. So anyway, let's talk about politics, Adebayo Abubakar, and the back and forth that is coming between Wike and Makinde now, and now it might affect PDP chances in 2027.
Well, I'm sorry to sound this way. There might be no PDP not to talk of chances, because they are not even ready themselves to resolve this crisis. It's like they are engaged in a venture that could be described as mutually assured destruction. They want to destroy one another so that the party will go under. That is what I'm seeing from both parties. Because number one, the signs are ominous. Go to Ekiti State now. The PDP candidate for the June 20, 2026 election is missing on the list posted yesterday by INEC. There are 12 others alongside the incumbents. But that of the PDP, because INEC says that they cannot operate in defiance to court judgment. And as it stands right now, nobody is recognizable. If you try to recognize any of these, you might run contrary to the provision of the provision of the law and existing court judgment. These are the things I think those who are the egghead in PDP or the conscience of the party, the BOT, should be thinking about.
Okay, let's go for this commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue from there. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Commercial break. Then
only those places you are mentioning are no-go areas.
ṣe mọ̀ pé
Those
accident
places
kan náà
are
ṣẹlẹ̀.
certain areas in Ilorin where arrests are not made. According to people, enforcement agencies they are not go there because it's a difficult area.
Pé nínú Ìlọrin.
Èmi náà wà kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kò parọ́ ṣe ẹ̀rọ kó parọ́ mi. Kí wàá tẹ ẹ̀rẹ̀ tó jẹ́ àwọn blọọkì kí ló dé bóyá nìyẹn kan ń yé yín ó pa wọ́n ṣe kó máa jẹ.
Do you know 7 journalists also died in another accident in Gombe yesterday?
Gombe traveling to Adamawa.
And tire at one bus. To get some accidents happen without actually speeding and brake. Kinika. Motor users are not cognizant of their.
He came to University of Ilorin in 2002, 2004, on sabbatical from Wisconsin University, Canada. He's a professor of sociology. He said nothing is uncaused. As far as road traffic accident is concerned, only if your tire is going to, fail on the road. If you go for roadworthiness test, it will tell you that this tire is no longer reliable.
Can it be better? Glass. Ni academy attack. You can drive.
Then you are careless.
Lemo. To ti lọ lórí ojú títì. Lè rí.
If I'm driving, ojú mi méjèèjì máa ń wà bí táwọn ìsìláyà máa wà.
Lè rí Mr. Bayo. You can't do that 24 hours.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. There is a cause for it. When we say accident is something that doesn't have a cause, you know that you are blind to the cause.
Well, not even me. It may be. I want to side you now. Like, I want to bank ballet. To bank I want to say due diligence. Possibility work. Want to back
somebody somewhere who did not do what he's supposed to do. Maybe you as the driver or anyone who disability. Where they should not drop refuse. Where waste products should not be dropped. So that is what he's saying. Somebody somewhere has failed to do what he's supposed to do. For example, see, if I don't have a program, you don't need to go to no. Madam was negligent. Correct. Or maybe it has been happening, nobody has been punished for that. So these are the issues. You see, that's why by yourself and sort of only people are careless. That is why when you are careful, you have to be extra careful to make up for their own carelessness.
Some lives have been lost unnecessarily. Boy, to drown. This Nigerian actor, I started riding motorcycle in 1987. 1987 motorcycle.
When I have blow talk faster,
until this year.
Basically getting 6 minutes free.
How did it happen?
For every 6 minutes.
Mo kọ̀ láti Ìbàmọ́kò. Mo débi dé màtí àti ìta jẹ́ àpò ìtàbàdì. Ìjọba àwọn ọmọ máa pàṣẹ yẹ. Mo ti tó báyìí níbi àwọn road safety níbi àwọn ìgbẹ́ ìbáṣe ọjà àgbẹ̀yẹ̀ bíi àwọn traffic body. Mo ṣe ń lọ bá àná tán, àwọn máa máa pàṣẹ ẹgbẹ̀rẹ̀ láì. Mo ṣe ń lọ ìyẹn. Ẹnìkan ìwájú ọ̀fẹ́ wọn fáyà yẹn. Owó ẹ̀yìn. Mo ti bírèkì máa kí ìdá padà tí ó ti bọ̀. Mo fi bírèkì lẹ̀ mo sàáwò lẹ́yìn. Mo kọ́ dìde gbogbo ẹsẹ̀ ní ẹsẹ̀ ní kan ẹ̀mí. Ibi ìbàdàn jẹ̀mí jẹ́ inú àwẹ̀ ni o. Ìbàdàn ọdún àwẹ̀ kò bí 3-4 days. Ṣé mo kàn ń wo mọ́tò yẹn wájú mo wá yẹn wájú. Kò tí ẹ̀ wẹ̀yìn. Ó bẹ̀ pàṣẹ wájú ọjọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ àròyé ilé ìdìbò rẹ̀. Ṣé tí mo tọ̀ bẹ̀ bá ti mo wò ìwọ ni.
Uppercut.
Ibi wa mo ti gbé fún ó wá sún àwọn ẹgbẹ́ yìí gbogbo rẹ̀ kú àwọn máa ń wá àwọn ọ̀kadà ní bọ́ọ̀lù àwọn ti sọ̀pọ̀ ìwọ́n tó bá kú kọ́ ẹni tó ṣe ní wá kìtì wà ní àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀hún sí ẹ̀rí pé kí ní sùn rẹ̀ kú bẹ̀.
Irú bàbá tó drown yẹn kò yẹ kó kú o. He was still alive when they rescued him. Instead of somebody somewhere to quickly do CPR, they now took him to the herbalist. They said one man can withdraw. I don't know whatever. They took him so many places without.
Mariam, after the rescue, everybody becomes after the event, people will feel become black.
Honestly,
as at that time, people was glory. People was here when you don't want. You lack the presence of mind to even think properly. What place? What should I?
I know I shouldn't go.
About 2 years ago, ilé ìwé went up in flame. Wọ́n bá wọn fẹ́ drain tank wọn. Ẹ̀gbọ́n wa receive call rate. Àbí pa o.
After the serious warning that you should not receive call rate.
Bọ́sà ni mo wọ̀. Pé kọ́ mi jáde ìyàwó ìpínlẹ̀ wa. Mo lè yọ sí mo tún fò mí kalẹ̀. Ní kí ni ẹ ṣẹlẹ̀?
You will not remember.
I couldn't fix it again. Go no. So in that case, I should have called the kidney now.
It's Kivo Creamer.
2 years ago, 3 years ago, when you not to inside the land that
Too poor.
I don't think so funny.
Yeah. Because gas one kitchen not very cheap. Gas was a fuel, petrol, generator one anything. So yeah, I don't know what I'm there's phone me, you can't order
And then I will money lucky can. Maybe because mo use no gra. I momenta mo tete ri at them agencies. Nínú gbogbo le wa ni omi mo níta bóyá kan mi lè ṣẹlẹ̀ kí má o ti understand kí má know what to do.
No, one thing is that if you are always expecting that means you are conscious of it. You know what to do.
My first experience with armed robbers. Especially when you know you are the one charged with the responsibility. So to go sell me.
You're welcome back to today's review of newspaper headlines and editorials, the last lap of the show of the third. And before we continue, we've been having our phone lines buzzing this week. Our first call. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please. Okay, so your contribution quickly. All right, thank you very much. While we wrap up, let's wrap up that particular discussion on politics, PDP, and what is going on against 2027.
So, but I hear some wiki, the Honorable Minister for FCT needs to know now that Nigerians are no longer interested in the music he's playing. And in case he doesn't know, alignment and realignment are taking place around him. His governor has defected to the APC, and he holds the structure of the party, even though he still claims to be in PDP. Things are changing fast, and the earlier the better. He listens to the drum beat to know when the drum beat has changed, so as for him to change his own dancing step. If the drum beat has changed and you don't change your dancing step, no matter how good you are as a dancer, you will look stupid. So that is what is happening at the moment. If Nyesom Wike truly has the interest of PDP at heart, that he's not pursuing personal vendetta against anybody in the party, I think this is the time for them to come down from their high horses, because number one, the Ibadan Convention has hit the rock now. It has come to a dead end. This will also lead, and this will not be gloating around, say because he appears to be on the triumphant side, because INEC seems to be leaning towards his own caretaker committee, because that of Ibadan Convention was not on the proper solid foundation legally. And thank goodness the person in charge of INEC right now is a professor of law, so he understands the legal implication of siding with any of those sides. Okay. So Wike needs to slow down. And even if you are, if 1,000 microphone is set before you, it doesn't change the fact that Nigeria have so many options apart from PDP, and he needs to know that. And if he does not step down, calm down, slow down, and try to see how a compromise could be reached, others will leave the party for him.
All right, thank you very much.
I'm going to other party.
For the in-depth analysis of all topics that we talked about today. Ayebola and La, you say your bye-byes and.
Well, do have yourself always a lovely day.
All right, thank you very much. Stay tuned to Sobi 101.9 FM for more interesting programs.
Any less adverts? Let me time that it alone. Ó ṣe mí bí ẹgbẹ́ àtètè parí. Bí ẹgbẹ́ kà máa ṣe lọ. Èmi fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ refinery wa wọ́n ló ń produce 3,000 kìlúkẹ̀. Tó mo fẹ́ ní ṣe àsìkò bàbá àti wọ́kọ́. Èyí tẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ àtòrí Joshua. Ẹ mọ̀ pé táìmù kí ní ẹgbà táìmù lọ. Àlọ́ àfíjì àlọ́. Àwọn wọ̀tẹ̀ náà yàtọ̀ sí ìmọ̀ láìsí.
Nínú yàrá agbára pẹ̀lú mi ọ̀gbẹ́ni Abdulhakeem Okola ẹ bá mi kí gbogbo àwọn ará rẹ ẹ kú dédé wòyí o ẹ̀yin ará ní orúkọ mi ní Abdulhakeem Okola gẹ́gẹ́ bí olóòtú dárúkọ application $6 oní agbára yín
Okay. Now let me say hi. Sorry, I was working before. I was on a live program, but now I'm off the live. So how are you? How you doing? The real Kendrick Lamar. Could that be true? Could that be true? I know Kendrick Lamar, but this ain't Kendrick Lamar. But if you are, hello, Kathy Morgan, good morning. Just hold on for me for a minute. Let me just try and arrange something. Just a minute. Somebody says you're free. Really? I just trying now. We are just trying to look our best.
Ṣẹ́rí bí a ṣe gbé kalẹ̀ ní wípé àǹfààní oṣù méjì títí di oṣù méjìlá tá a gbé kalẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá ti ń rà tó bá ti ń sanwó dé ìdajì oṣù tó bá mú láàmú gbé ọjà yìí fún wọn tí wọ́n sì máa fi ní àǹfààní láti máa sanwó fún àpẹẹrẹ tí wọ́n bá mú oṣù méjì tó bá ti sanwó alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ kalẹ̀ ó túmọ̀ sí wípé a gbé ọjà yẹn fún wọn wọ́n sanwó ìyókù ní oṣù ní ìtaàbọ̀ sí tó bá mú oṣù mẹ́rin àbáyọ̀ láti san ní kejì tó bá ti san tán àwọn àgbẹ̀ ọjà yẹn fún wọn wọ́n san ìyẹ̀ta ìjẹ́ ìkíní lọ́wọ́ àtòṣù mẹ́fà àtòṣù mẹ́jọ àti
Baby, you don't know what it's like. I feel like singing. To love somebody. If you know who sings or who sang the song, let me know. To love somebody the way I love you. I should put, let me put beats. All right. So let me select Sister Caroline. I hope I'm singing it now. So who's online? Say hi to me. Let me talk to you. I feel like gisting this morning. I got a whole lot of energy. Energy. Say hi to me. Tell me where you're watching me from. And let's strike a conversation. I hardly come on YouTube Live. Now that I'm on YouTube Live, please encourage me, alright? Encourage me to come again. Encourage me. Baby, you can drive my car. I really wanna be your star, baby. I love you. I'm so glad you're my girl. I'll do anything for you. Call you every night and bring you flowers too. Oh God, I think I was thinking about you. Na na na. Na na dan 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 dan. Now let me take you to the wild west. I'm singing. I'm rapping.
At Airtel, we have taken proactive steps to keep you safe from every spam activity. With Airtel News Spam Alert Service, powered by AI, it can't text in real time with no app or setup needed. Airtel, a reason to imagine. Don't let the size fool you, my guy. This Super Commando will keep you firing on from morning till night.
Miriam tẹ̀ ní èmi kàn wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ mi èmi náà ti wá wò ó. Ọ̀la ẹ̀ yẹ kí n wò. Àmọ́ kí n kí ní báyìí. Ṣé máa sọ̀rọ̀ mo fẹ́ bèrè ni kí n bá lè mọ̀ bóyá gbogbo tí mo sọ ti jáde. Mo bèrè ni ọ̀gá àní mo fẹ́ mọ̀ bóyá ó dé ta kí lè mọ̀ kẹ́tẹ́. Daddy, sir. Yeah, thank you very much. Same to you. Ati daye same to you, right?
Yes.
Gbogbo next week, right? Same to you, la mọ̀ sí. All right. Ṣé ti ta táìmù wọlé? Àwọn òrè tó máa ń fẹ́ ra táìmù wá ní ra táìmù nísì. Tó mọ̀ léèyàn káàkiri tó ń já ká sùn. Well, that's true though. I take that back. Tó dáhùn náà fún wa lóúnjẹ.